there's an expansion taking place. It feels like just this energy of, I think it just feels really warm, okay? And someone will have recently be going through some kind of purging or something along those lines. And it might not have anything to do with what's about to come, but it's definitely been preparing them on an energetic and emotional level. So I feel like it could be the divine feminine within you that's been experiencing these activations, okay? So really beautiful. I think that's maybe the warmth of it as well, okay? I'm getting the solar plexus and the heart chakra specifically. And also, you know, Venus is now in Taurus, right? And Jupiter's going to be entering Cancer. So there's these beautiful vibes of just like, I'm hearing specifically luxury and comfort, so they could be important for somebody. But it's just like this energy of expansion. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion, right? Abundance, okay? Okay, so let's see. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the Devil. Okay. I think something has been stopping somebody from taking the actions they need to take. And that's what this expansion's about, is preparing somebody. So with the moon there as well, it's kind of like, I'm hearing hidden desires specifically. But also with this Ten of Swords, I'm getting this hidden addictions. Okay, there could have been something really, a connection, death at the bottom of the deck as well. And the Ten of Swords. So I'm getting, there could be a connection that was really, either there's a hidden desire to do with this connection, or there's just something here that has ended bad. When I say bad, I mean in a way that was really hurtful. Ended in a dark night of the soul, truthfully. Somebody's soul truly needs to awaken in order to get ready for this expansion that they're going to be experiencing if they're not already, okay? So the Page of Pentacles and now the Ten of Pentacles with that. So there's definitely something here that has potential for true abundance. I'm talking, you know, especially with this Hierophant, this is serious stability. But it's about doing things right this time is what I've heard. I'm hearing not kind of letting your head go 100 miles an hour and lead, if that makes sense. So I'm also hearing head over heels. So okay, so someone's definitely had some kind of awakening to do with whatever this attachment is what's coming through. It could have been something of the past, because someone's seeing things clearly now, is what I'm getting here. No, they're going to be seeing things clearly. There's definitely, with this Hanged Man as well, there's been so much time needed to dig deep under the surface, right? And with the World, I mean, there's a serious completion taking place, and that's the Ten of Swords and the World. I mean, I think there's this energy of no longer taking any kind of bits of that, anything trickling through from that darker cycle into this new chapter, truly. Ace of Swords with the Page of Swords is definitely clarity. I'm hearing also communication potentially. Got the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck there as well, okay? So definitely seeing clearly. Okay, so whatever had blinded this energy before in the past, you know, as in like they weren't seeing things clearly for what they were, right? The more kind of, I'm seeing like, it's almost like someone was chained to their desires, if you will, but they didn't realize it, and that was what was pulling them back into this dark energy constantly. So that's subconscious kind of playing out, if you will. Okay, I'm hearing this silence when it comes to action. There's some kind of guidance someone's seeking, or they want to be seeking, okay? So as they overcome whatever this energy is, they are, again, you've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups here. I feel like that needs to go there and that needs to go there. And then the Lovers at the bottom of the deck as well. So they're overcoming this kind of, as they're awakening, these are the true awakenings that have had to take place, and not just one, multiple. And there's been other people involved in this as well, right? I am getting this energy with this red thread here specifically, and those two, I feel like there could be a connection. I'm seeing something quite divine connection, but we'll see what the energy is, because it's kind of like whatever this is, that it's awoken them, and now they're understanding that they need to overcome, or they have been overcoming. Now the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, that's like the happiest chapters, more happier than they have ever been before. That's where that warm feeling was coming, but it all starts with a small seedling. Could be an offer. Yeah, someone's been in heartbreak for so long. 3 of Swords here. With the Hangman and the Moon, I mean, someone's emotions have been on pause, if you will. Yeah, so it's kind of like it's not even their emotions have been on pause. They have been stuck in, it's like they've not known how yet. 4 of Pentacles, they've literally been stuck in this heartbreak and they've just not known how to break free from it. But it's about having those healthy, sacred tools that, you know, you're really pulled away from in societies often, where, you know, you're pulled towards distraction, towards numbness, numbing and avoiding whatever it is that's really happening beneath the surface. Often is the case, and I feel like that could be the case for somebody here as well. Too many cards there. I think this is too many cards. I think this is someone who could have a, you know, use music, almost like music is their therapy. Okay, Queen of Wands, she did want to come out. I think she's the one who's actually potentially closing out this dark past cycle. I think she was left, I mean, in this particular card, she's there by herself and there's a couple in the back, you know, so it's kind of like she was left in 5 of Pentacles. She wasn't treated like the Queen of Wands, that's for sure. The Queen of Wands is like magnetic, is just this passionate kind of fiery energy that is really just unique in her own way, authentic, right? And she's understanding to her that there's a need to close out that cycle now, right? And you don't need to take that forward anymore. There's a new way of thinking, there's a new way of understanding the situation. So it's kind of that, you know, sometimes when you're so emotionally, and this could be the divine feminine that's been receiving these activations now, which is ready to move forwards, because what you realize is when you're so emotionally attached and you're having such an strong emotional reaction to something, it's often because there's something beneath the surface that needs to be cleared by you. So it could be, again, that attachment that came through, that codependency, that need for someone to come and validate your emotions or your feelings or whatever it is. When it's often the case when you heal through those cycles, which needs to be done healthily, again, the healthy tools, it takes time, it takes a lot of inner work, right? And it feels like this is what someone's been doing. And when you really step back, you really see things from a more logical space. And I'm not saying, again, remember, don't let the head lead too much here. There's a balance here that's required. But there is this kind of better understanding of actually how did you see in that picture, right? Versus actually how much you don't need to take it so personally, if you will. And also that comes with understanding that there are certain people who just don't deserve you in their life, truly. Now, if it is a divine connection, that's going to be a whole different spin on this, okay? But we'll find out. The Strength card here, and I say that because with divine connections, you know, it's really hard to explain, but we'll see if it comes out, then I'll explain it, okay? 8 of Swords. Okay. So there's definitely been the 9 of Swords. It's like somebody knows what they want, but they've been so stuck in like this repetitive mental pattern cycle. Death did want to come out. Yeah, the Devil. Awakenings are real, and the Death is the end of the cycle. The cards just fell. Sometimes the mind can really have you reading. You're overplaying the same situation from the past, especially when in your mind it can often be amplified, whatever it was, right? So again, right, you can have that emotional reaction that can be quite strong, but again, your mind can just spiral with that, okay? So it's not really head versus heart, it's kind of them working together against you, right? Because of the patterns that are playing out within you, which is where this subconscious mind has been coming through slowly but surely. There's more stability coming through here. 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well there. Too many cards. And, you know, with this strength being gained through the new way of thinking, it's kind of really allowing somebody to tame their own demons, if you will. I'm hearing the word dragon. Dragons could be significant for somebody. She's beautiful. Okay, time has been needed. Time has truly been needed for justice to play out, if you will, for this cycle to close out, especially if somebody was operating from a really lust-filled space, or even just that, you know, again, needing that kind of external validation. But I'm seeing a lot of like physical stuff, like attractiveness, that kind of thing, based off, you know, that I'm hearing like physical spark or fire or whatever. There's been a lot of thinking, so overthinking, and to the point where the emotions are just pouring over in so many different cups, and all the different stories someone's been telling themselves, all these illusions. have been hurting them, you know. And yes, certain things they've been through that have happened, but it's kind of like they've allowed themselves to be stuck in that. But this is what they're finally clearing through, which is beautiful. Yeah, the flirty energy that was coming through. So it's kind of like honing in on your energy now, and the kind of the sanctity of this energy. We've got let go of control issues. So it's kind of like, that's what someone's been learning. I think that's where the head can get so stuck sometimes, because it just wants to control the situation, right, to avoid past traumas that you've been through. But in actual fact, that's just the best way to do that, is to handle what you've been through and the pain of what it is that you've been through, because then you can really clear through that, because beneath that there's a reason, there's a deeper reason that's rooted beneath that, okay, whether it's abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, betrayal wounds, or from a very young age. That's actually the root that needs to be cleared through, and that's the best way you can finally just free yourself. It doesn't mean you don't cycle through like pain and hurt when you're in that position or going through those emotions, but you do it better, you have better tools, you trust yourself better and the situation, right? You understand things from a different way. Engagement. I was hearing the term making a commitment before doing this reading as well. So again, that could be a commitment to yourself, right? That playful energy has come out with the flirty energy. I just want to know more about that, because I feel like it could go two ways. It's kind of like it's been led by someone's shadow in the past, but there's this energy of that being cleared out. There's a new approach forward, and it's going to allow you to be a bit more lighthearted with this new way of thinking. Retreat. So that's come out with let go of control issues, disconnecting from the situation so you can allow it to unfold naturally, right, or divinely, I would say. So that's when you learn how to surrender to the divine unfold. Reconciliation. So whatever this is, and that's come up with engagement, there's this opportunity to really work on this, right? Worth waiting for. Yeah, again, divine timing. I think that there was a lot of heaviness in the past that you wouldn't have been able to, this would have been stuck, and it would have just been caught up in whatever that heaviness was. Healing family issues as well, okay? So someone's had to really do that inner child healing. Yeah, forgiving their parents, which sometimes that can just continue on for people's entire lives sometimes, right? But I think someone's been really focused on that. Unrequited love. Okay, I'm going to get another one for that, just so I can get some confirmation, because I do feel like passion, okay? So it might have been someone who you felt, or they felt that there was unrequited love here, and it was just purely passion, right? So that fiery energy, again, that Queen of Wands is giving that, she's desired energy, okay? Honeymoon. So I do feel like this is changing. This is where that ascending, that higher level commitment is coming in, okay? Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. That's good. So, codependency at the bottom of the deck, that's just confirmation. That's just like the devil card. There's addictions, there's been massive addictions here, that actually someone hasn't understood or clearly seen, but that's what's changing. And it could also be this codependency to do with that healing family issues for somebody. That's what they've been clearing through. And I think that you're gonna notice this within yourself, is what I'm getting here. Emotions are running high. Energy's cool. I do feel like there's a lot of energy in this reading right now, that's present, okay? So it's kind of like staying grounded, a time to give rather than take, okay? Again, that's the energy of, fleeting romance, if you will, just like desired but not, no one stays kind of thing. So it's kind of like, it's time now to actually give instead of just taking from whoever this energy is, not operating from that lust, basically, and that ego-fueled self or whatever. Step out of your comfort zone, okay? Because again, there's a lot of temptation in this energy, a lot of temptation. That could be to do with the addictions, but it's also fueled by kind of, there's still hurt there, right? Work through your fears. That's what's taking place, okay? So when they do come up again, that need to let go of control, to disconnect, okay? And we've got bring love into the situation. The end of a tough cycle approaches, and I think that tough cycle has to do with whatever this this pause was, but I am hearing sacred pause. So I think that there's been this honouring of self more than anything in this pause, if you will. And it's kind of like you've learnt yourself so much more deeply and beautifully that you're ready to no longer just... It's kind of like, if it's not divine, then you don't want it. You know what I mean? That higher level, that kind of nothing is yet set in stone. I think there's just so much left unsaid. So there was so much unclarity, like not lack of clarity, that someone had to kind of find their own clarity, right? So and this is why it's going to be this need to kind of bring love into the situation as well, because I think that someone's going to need that. They're going to need that truly, even if they don't say it. Again, that ego, right? Again, that could be the divine feminine energy that I'm seeing here, because she's had to really work on herself to close out wherever that was. So she deserves that love. She truly does. As in, she's gonna, and she knows it, and she's gonna need like evidence, if you will. Expect powerful change. So nothing's yet set in stone, but there's certainly a massive change here that has taken place within and outside, which is why that expansion is finally kind of pouring through, right? It's time to release negativity. And that's that kind of the telling yourself the same story energy, prosperity lies ahead. Someone at the time was acting from a much lesser version of themselves, and it was accepted. And with that being accepted, it actually led to that, it's almost like a dive into the darkness. That's what it felt like. But that's because there was, there were things there were patterns that were still like unhealthy patterns there that needs to be cleared through. So that's a good thing that you can clearly see that's what someone's been working on. Queen of Cups and the Chariot. So I do think that when someone was more kind of stuck in their sacral chakra, okay, so the addictions that have been coming up, that lusty energy, or even just somebody who's accepting someone who desires them, who's like playful and flirty with them, and there's just a lot of lust there, but there hasn't been, or there wasn't at the time, love. But that's because there was already heartbreak beneath the surface, which is also why someone was accepting lesser than what they deserved. Okay, it's almost like, again, that need for somebody to fill an empty void or something, you know, make them feel worthy or whatever. But here there's clearly, we've got the Queen of Wands, Chariot, and the Eight of Wands. So there's incoming, I'm seeing like messages, communication, something along these lines, right? And it's like it's time to move forward. Yeah, and this time that is, I'm hearing there's a loving energy present, much more loving energy. No more kind of saying stuck in the binds of your own mind, right? That Bob Marley quote's coming through as well. Might be relevant to somebody. If you know what it is, I can't say word for word, but if you know what it is, remind me, please. We've got the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. So again, there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be some, this is that clarity that's being gained. Yeah, King of Wands. Someone's going to, I'm getting multiple things. Someone is staying behind the scenes because they're afraid of approaching, because they don't know what they're approaching. They don't know if they're going to be like a, you know, like a lion in the lion's den kind of thing, you know, thrown there. But also they're scared of being rejected, of being just that wounds of not feeling worthy. But I will say, this is somebody who has previously acted in ways that someone deserved better, much better. Oh my God, the Ace of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that Four of Wands is given that divine connection that I was talking about, that union energy. Again, you know, in connections like that, you can't, like, when you recognize what it's been teaching you, you see yourself in the shadows, in the pain, and you start to unravel that. You recognize that actually whatever it was that was happening is nothing to do with you all along. If anything, the connection that you share is so strong, such a strong bond, that the love for each other is there regardless. Not because you're allowing each other to treat each other like terribly or anything like that, but because actually all along you were there meant to like be each other's catalyst to wake you up from what you were stuck in at the time of meeting. Okay, King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So with the King and Queen of Wands, King and Queen of Cups, the Lovers here as well at the bottom beneath that. There's definitely something beautiful. This is the expansion, but it comes with communication. Someone needs to have the courage or take the lead, really. You know, with the King of Wands, that is someone who is a leader. They're thinking about again, too much thinking, a lot of regret. 555, a lot of regret. They left somebody in this way, you know, with that unrequited love. Like someone did not feel any warmth from them, which is the initial energy that I was receiving here. However, look at this, King of Cups did want to come out. They're realizing that it's their emotional safety that is so needed here, right? So that's what they're working on, and that's going to need them to not be withdrawn and acting from like self-fulfillment first, ego-led, you know, thinking of self. You know, sometimes when it comes to love, divine love, there is a selflessness to it, right? Yes, you have your priorities, you, but with this energy, I'm seeing somebody was the way they were, you know, and then you got the Hermit, and someone's really had to check their ego massively. Justice as well at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this is about calling in that justice, right? But I think that whoever they're approaching now is not the same, you know, that queen energy. She's not the same as who they once knew. And I have a feeling they know that, which is why they're holding back more. There's this energy of like being afraid someone else or something else in the picture, okay? But again, that comes with that conversation that's needed. There's just so much emotion here right now that it's like there's just a lack of clarity, and so it's turning someone like they're feeling more unstable within themselves, okay? So the more that this comes through and you hold space for yourself within it, this is like a safety, this isn't about, you know, like you did this, you did that, blah, 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 blah. If that's the case, then this is not, like, you're not ready for whatever this is that wants to unfold now. You're being asked to allow the situation to unfold, because you've reached a point where you've handled those shadows. You understand the emotions, especially when they are running high. You know, you work through your fears when they show up, because you know that it's not just done and that's it. It's not just everyone else's fault and not your own, right? You understand what accountability is, and I think somebody here wants to take accountability themselves. Okay, but with this nothing yet set in stone, I think that's going to come with this working on this together. You know what I mean? So whereas something ended in a very passionate way, there was like, it was like a quick kind of, just like this quick, like, oh my God, it was like so energy filled and just like electric and just like, you know, this intense energy, emotion, and it just ended like that. I think that it's about really doing things differently now. It's more of a calmer, slowing down, and honouring the emotions that are running away from them, right? There's a difference. Not only is somebody realising how they've made themselves an outsider in this situation, they're also recognising how they treated somebody else. And they're feeling it, okay? Use your imagination and you'll see the answer. Admit the truth and act accordingly. It says admit the truth to yourself, but I feel like this is to do with someone else, okay? Spending more time outdoors. I do feel like there could be... I feel like that's to do with coming together and spending time together. Positive thoughts create positive results. So again, someone here has such powerful... Again, that was coming through. I think both of you have really strong mindsets. So be very mindful of your thoughts, because I think that you're very... you have something there. It's a very powerful gift, okay? So be careful with what you're creating in your reality just by your thoughts, okay? Ask Archangel Michael to help you with this situation, okay? You forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. I think actually the way somebody responded and reacted was from a place that's not as kind of dark and painful for someone else as they're thinking, but also for them, they had a lot of this kind of beneath the surface trauma that they really needed to address. And if anything, this is what helped them to see that and to actually do that, which again requires courage, okay? As well, this needing to admit the truth. But again, they know how to move forwards with this. That's why they're being guided to use their imagination, right? So their heart space is going to guide them, is what I'm hearing. And I feel like the Divine Feminine energy needs to detach from this, so that Divine Masculine can take the right actions, right? And all that includes kind of energetically sometimes as well. Like, yes, there's love there, yes, all that, but instead of like pulling on the energetic threads, there's none of that anymore, which is beautiful. Cancer season is going to be very significant for forward movements here, and this beautiful, more of an alignment being found within. It is safe for you to love and express your love. I do think with these expressions of someone's truth is going to come the truth. The mask is going to be removed. Someone's going to really, the veil. And it's one of those veils that they themselves need to be the one who brings us forwards now is what I'm getting. But there is safety there. There's just so much that again, it can be in the mind so much that it spirals, and the things start to seem so much worse than what they actually were when you get to the root of it, and you have that kind of clarity coming through, and those expressions of truth from the heart space. You can really begin to see things from another person's perspective once you allow yourself to do that, right? Compassion, truthfully, whilst holding space for your truth too and your worthiness. Prosperity lies ahead. It did want to come out. Okay, again, that expansion, it's coming through. Someone's being prepared right now to hold this space, right? Both of these energies are okay. A time for healing. That's what's taking place right now. Hold your vision, because what's coming is going to require that stepping out of your comfort zone from somebody in order for this powerful change to truly take place. And at the bottom of the deck as well was a new romantic cycle begins. Okay, but the masks need to be removed, right? This is really about honoring the truth now, and also having success on the mind, truly. And I think with the divine feminine energy, I think there's something about her really staying in her knowing, in her glow, in her light, right? The alignment with that purpose, because that's where she truly gets her fulfillment from, which is so beautiful. Okay, and that's when you really call in what is on your alignment, instead of like from a more wounded kind of lesser space, if you will, right? That's what came through. Let me know if this reading was for you. Sending so much love.